By now, you might have heard of what's called the dividend snowball effect. This happens when you invest in dividend-paying stocks and start by receiving those fairly small monthly or quarterly dividend payments, but then over time letting that snowball roll and grow bigger to the point where you're receiving enough in dividend payments and can live completely financially free without having to work for money. And if you ask me, that's definitely the end goal. So today we're going to talk about how to create the dividend snowball and what it takes to live off dividends completely. The first thing you'll need to do, if you haven't already, is simply just get started and actually invest in dividend stocks. Some people think that you need tens of thousands of dollars to get started, or that you need to already be making a lot of money, but that's just not the case. I started investing when I was making less than $30,000 a year, and I definitely don't regret starting early. Even if you only have just $100 to start out with, once you buy into a dividend-paying stock or ETF, you've then added to your annual dividend income. For example, investing $100 into the ETF JEPI, your annual dividend income going forward would be about $9 per year just by investing that $100, which might not seem like a lot, but if you continued investing into JEPI each month while reinvesting the dividends, that annual income would increase exponentially. And the current price of JEPI is only about $56, so you could even start out with buying just one share. So there's really no excuse when it comes to just getting started. Another thing you'll want to make sure of, even if you're starting out small, is making sure you're not only diversified with the dividend stocks that you're investing in, but also investing in the right dividend-paying companies. A good example of a great dividend-paying stock would be something like the Home Depot, or ticker symbol HD. This is a company that's been increasing its dividend every single year for over 10 years now, and has been paying a consistent dividend every single year since 1989. And there are tons of different companies similar to the Home Depot with track records that ensure those consistent dividend payments, but it might take just a little bit of research to find them. But if you don't want to have to pick individual stocks to invest in and spend the time doing the research on each stock, you can also invest in dividend-paying ETFs, which are some of my favorites to invest in. And a good example of a great dividend-paying ETF is SCHD, which holds about 100 of the best dividend-paying companies in the United States. By holding an ETF like SCHD, you don't have to worry about diversification since it holds so many great stocks, and the fund itself does most of the work for you, so it's pretty hands-off. SCHD has also increased its dividend every year for over 10 years now, which means that as you buy shares of this ETF every year, your dividend income will continue to increase at a significant rate. For example, if you currently have $10,000 in SCHD right now, your current dividend income would be about $350 per year. But if you invested just $100 a month and reinvested those dividends, by year 2, your dividend income would already be over $50 more. And that's where the dividend snowball really starts to take off. You don't have to put everything into SCHD. Some people do, and that's fine, but there's a lot of different options out there when it comes to dividend-paying stocks and ETFs. So growing that dividend snowball isn't very difficult, but will take a lot of consistency and time. So with that being said, let's go over a few different stocks and ETFs and how much you'll need invested in each to make $100 a month in dividend income, because I think $100 a month in passive income is a really good start. JEPI is one that I mentioned earlier, and it's also one that I own in my portfolio that's currently paying about an 8% yield, with its last dividend payment being around 36 cents per share. So in order to make $100 a month in dividend income from JEPI, you'd need to build up to about 275 shares or $15,000 invested. Another really solid dividend stock to use as an example is Altria, or ticker symbol MO, that's currently paying 8.25% in dividends, with its typical payout amount averaging around 94 cents per share. And those are quarterly dividend payments, so we'll divide that number by 3. So in order to make $100 a month from Altria, you'd need to own around 325 shares or $14,800 invested. Now thinking in bigger terms, imagine if that $15,000 eventually becomes $1.5 million. Your monthly income would be well over $10K a month, or over $100K a year, without having to do any work at all. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, feel free to check out the other videos on my channel, and I'll see you next time.